Welcome to Astro Weekly. We are in the middle of the summer. It is hot over here. I don't know how you're doing. How's your August going? We just came off a beautiful new moon in Leo that hopefully gave you more passion, drive, motivation, inspiration to lead your life towards that main character show that is your life. So on Monday, we start the week with right away a Mercury retrograde. So officially, our planet of communication, information, trade, commerce, mobility, contracts, agreements, is now retrograde. And that means that it can cause issues regarding the topics it rules. That means that if you buy stuff online, because it is about commerce, right? You might experience some hurdles. Things might not be delivered to you, not in the way that was promised. Maybe some things were not, that should have been in the package, wasn't in the package. This is a time where even though Mercury is going retrograde right now in Virgo, which means that our mind is normally very focused and detailed and about the nitty gritty, about wanting to organize and clean up, your mindset, and therefore what you do, maybe even learn some new stuff and, wanting to change some things in your life. But unfortunately, that Virgo energy is just not working the way it usually would. See, Mercury does rule Virgo, so it is sort of comfortable, but it is in a mode that feels to us from Earth's perspective very reflective. So it is about looking back to former agreements you made, former ways of communicating, ways of how your mindset used to be, and what you did or did not achieve with that. And, it's about reminiscing, about going back to perhaps previous projects you had that just are not, that could use some revision. So past projects, past efforts, cleaning out, cleaning up, organizing stuff in your life is kind of the mode. And it just means that what I said, the normal things of Virgo aren't working so strongly. That means that we're missing some details. And it's hard to completely avoid doing anything around a Mercury retrograde. So I don't mean to stop your life, but when you make agreements, contractual agreements, you should really hone in, focus on the details and the nitty gritty, because it's easy to overlook something, okay? And you don't want to you don't want to make the wrong decision, because Mercury retrograde often means you will have to go back to that project. So if you start something from now until August 28th, because that's how long this retrograde takes, if you start something, it is likely that you'll have to do it over. You have to revise. There might be some issues with it. It might not it might not last very long. So anything you start now in August, basically, it just does not have the longitude. So just keep that in mind. And it means that, travel issues can come up. Mobility means, watch out on the road, you know, check your itinerary, check the route, make sure you're safe on the road. And yeah, things can just go off, okay? Just not the way it usually should. Um, Delays, miscommunication as well, just things not lining up. You know, you might have to explain yourself a few times, or yeah, so watch out what you write down, because perhaps you'll say something you didn't want to say. um, just stuff like that. It means you have to, the focus is off. So if you want to have focus, you need to work on it more than normal. There's more effort in achieving clarity, you know? It's not a given. So you're overlooking details, things are going wrong, or like not, you know, just issues. And that can also be electronics, right? So communication devices, your phone, your computer, small electrical appliances, stuff can just somehow break down, have issues, and so it's not the ideal time to buy anything new, right? Because it doesn't have the longitude. So that's that. So we're in a reflective mode. We are reevaluating our lives, our communication styles, our work, or you know, what we want to put effort in, and perhaps you can learn a few things you were already doing, and then now you can like expand on the learning as well. So it doesn't mean you don't do anything. You can just take up upon things that you left along the ride, right? So just go back to what were your previous interests. What haven't you finished up that you would like to finish up? Because Virgo does give that, like, you know, because it's an earth sign, does give that sort of tenacity to finish something that you weren't able to do before. So this Virgo also, especially with Mercury here, is about writing. So if you have any writing projects, or any, like, maybe you were writing a book or something like that, this is excellent to revise it, to look over it, to re-edit it, perhaps, you know. So also, right after the new moon on Sunday, which means this week, our planet Venus moves into Virgo. So just like Mercury, they're actually close together. It's, you know, the planet of Venus means our style, our beauty, sense of beauty is more conservative, more traditional, more laid back, casual, good quality stuff. Our finances need a little revision as well, indicating by Venus being here. So we're more on, like, you know, maybe increase the money, look at how we can do that better, organize that, you know, look into how you can earn a few bucks here and there, maybe more, and it's the long term of stuff. So it's also about how you want to be of service and connecting with people more. Helping people might be the sudden urge you have with Venus transiting this sign of Virgo. Yeah. And because it's in the sign of that rules the body and mind connection, you might be interested in, you know, perhaps some therapy, or just more healthy living, you know, some exercise increasement, or just looking out for your wellness is something that's on our minds and like in our hearts, okay? So it's a great interest. Definitely this week you might feel that strongly, because they both, you know, are strong at the beginning of Virgo now. And then I just want to mention a couple things that is going on in the background. So we are already in eclipse energies, okay? So we're at the beginning of August. We have an eclipse September 18th, and it means that we are 6 weeks away from a huge eclipse in a new sign that hasn't occurred since 18 years. So that's Pisces. It's a lunar eclipse, and I feel that's going to be very strong because it has a strong removal and ending theme to it, okay? So an eclipse always is just sudden changes, surprises, fated events or energies. So if you have anything at the end tail of Pisces, of Virgo, of Sagittarius, and Gemini, so meaning I'd say let's take it wide between 20 and 29 degrees, or more stronger between 25 or what is it, 22 and 29 degrees. Okay, so that's the mutable signs, because that's where the lunation on the eclipse is working with. It means that now we are in eclipse energies. It means that these sudden surprising events of that eclipse are flowing into our lives. And as I said, if you have points around that eclipse, this is working with you stronger. You might feel like things are about to change massively. So yeah, we're in eclipse energy, so things are getting wild. And this is actually highly increased because in 2 weeks time we have a full moon in Aquarius, and that video will come up soon. And that is just massive. It's working with Uranus, so that is already having massive eclipse energy, and that is 1 month away from that eclipse that I was talking about. So we're in wild, wild, wild territory, okay? Things suddenly are flipsy flopsy, up and down, and you won't be able to tell what's down and what's up. So just a little pre-warning that things are intensifying, and you can notice that right in the news and perhaps even in your surroundings. So that's just a cautionary tale. Wild energies means just a lot of intensity and unexpectedness. So how can you prepare for that? That's a little difficult, right? But maybe knowing it, that, there's an undercurrent, like there's a wave of change, and perhaps that will give you the stability, the sense of stability when there is no stability, So yeah, a lot of heavy, background energies that we're swimming in already. On Wednesday, we have the sun in Leo, where he's really happy. Okay, so this is summer vibes. We're enjoying. This is a time definitely to have fun. Okay, as I said, things are changing rapidly. Maybe not fun, just to be realistic. So you want to take any moment of joy, okay? And Wednesday is one of those moments. We have the sun in Leo, big bright energy, joyful, sextiling Jupiter in Gemini. So this is just, wanting to go a little bit bigger, better, shinier, and just be a little bit more extravagant, be a bit more indulgent, and just do it. Go for it. Have fun. If you're able to go somewhere close or something, be mindful of that Mercury retrograde, but just enjoy yourself and go have some fun, because, when will be the next time? Maybe not so soon, okay? As I said, I'm serious. The full moon that's coming up, and then the eclipse that's coming up 1 month after that, is intense. okay? And honestly, I was wondering how long it takes for this just a tough economic whirlwind, okay? And I thought it would have happened with the financial axis of eclipses in Taurus and Scorpio that was very recent, like the last 2 years ago or something. That did not happen. Apparently the time was not yet at that point, but I think it's very heating up. So unfortunately, economic problems, food issues, technological issues are on the rise with this full moon and the eclipse. So I don't know if you understood that code. It means that, you know, have a little cash backup if you can, okay, in your home. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an expert on any of this. I'm just bringing the astrological perspective, okay? Things are heating up, intensifying. There's an economic crisis or a crisis, you know, banging on the door. So you just want to be prepared as much as you can, right? Just to be safe, to be sure. That when there is some sudden occurrence of very discomfort experience, then you have a little solidity in your life, okay? So if you can, stock up a little bit on water, on food, just, you know, just a few days that you can survive with, for instance, if there's a power cut or anything like that. So because we're moving towards that Uranian full moon as well, right? So yeah, just to be safe, just to be sure, just to be mindful that things can go wrong economically. There's already a huge bankruptcy issue in Japan, which is one of the richest economies in the world. So there's that, okay? Hope you understood that. So Wednesday, we're having fun, okay? We're taking this moment of joy. And something I noticed in the sky related to this Jupiter on Wednesday. So if you're in the, I suppose, northern hemisphere and like a little bit north of northern hemisphere, you can look into the night sky to the Taurus constellation, and you'll notice that there is a triangle going on, definitely since the new moon in Leo on Sunday. So I saw it Monday night, and I saw it on Sunday, and it's probably going to continue for a couple of days into this week. So what we're seeing in the Taurus constellation is big bright Jupiter. And then because it's so close conjunction wise to Mars, we see it, of course, a little bit further away in the sky because of longitude and latitude and all that. But so we see, I think Mars is right now a little bit up, and then we see another bright star, and that is Aldebaran. And that's a fixed star in the Taurus constellation, the bull. And they create a triangle. And when I saw that, I just, you know, a little worriness, because Aldebaran is one of the 4 big royal stars. This creates like a big cross in the sky. And it's at the beginning or the first decan of the Gemini. So if you have anything around 9 degrees of Gemini, that's the Aldebaran energy you're working with. But unfortunately, that energy has been a bit hijacked by Hitler, who was a huge fan of this Aldebaran. So normally it can be about, you know, success and like leadership, I suppose, and You know, you can look into it. You can Google Aldebaran in astrology for more information, but it's a big, big placement. And so we have Mars and Jupiter there dancing around Aldebaran in Gemini, but in the sky we see it in the Taurus constellation. So it just reminded me a bit of a evil energy, to be frank. So yeah, just be a little bit worried. It could be like a little earthquake energy, or I don't know, perhaps natural disasters or leadership issues. So yeah, that's that. You know, this week is other than, you know, the Mercury retrograde and Venus moving into the sign of Virgo, it's kind of quiet, but that's because a lot is going on in the background, right? A lot is like boom, 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 boom coming our way. So again, just want to leave you with the positive. Wednesday, and you know, some days around Wednesday, before and after, is a time for joy. So please go and have fun, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you in the next Astro Weekly. Take care. Goodbye.